Hey guys, we are back for our next monthly installment of the Mayor's Morning Show. So today my co-host is Tom Ward, our Director of Public Utilities. Tom, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor.
So we thought, we thought we would get out in this fall weather before we can't anymore and take in some of Sandy's finest scenery. So we'll talk a little bit about this project that's here behind us that you see, but this is one of Tom's department's newest projects and one that we're extremely proud of. So I'll have Tom talk about that in just a minute. Let me just go through a couple quick housekeeping things while we kind of warm up here and let people sign on. So just a few reminders. We always use this as an opportunity to remind you of activities and events that are coming up. So we will post the link to our calendar online to this Facebook post when we're done. So please click on the link and follow all the events this month. A couple of the big ones, we're really excited about the second annual Halloween Trunk or Treat. So this is something we started last year. We do it up at the amphitheater. It's great. We have our police and fire there. We have a DJ. We have a parade and costume contest. It's Dress Your Pets also. So we have awards for the best dressed costume, kid, as well as pet. So last year we had almost 1,000 people show up to our first one. So anyway, just a great way to connect as a community. That's coming up on Friday night, the 25th. So that link will be on there. And I believe, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this Monday coming up is the last food truck night at the amphitheater.
At the end of this month, we extended it.
Wow, there you go. We extended it through the 28th of this month. So you still have a couple more Monday nights to get out to the amphitheater and enjoy some great food. So anyway, we have a few more events as well, art show coming up, but we'll have all those on the link. But just remember to go there and check those out. So with that introduction, let me turn just a couple minutes over to Tom Ward. And Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of how long you've been with Sandy, and just what Public Utilities does for our residents.
Thank you, Mayor. So my name's Tom Ward. I'm a professional engineer. Been with Sandy, working for Sandy's Public Utilities Department for 3 years. I've been here in Utah for over 20 years working in the water industry. I've got a long career working in private sector and government, but all in water. So that's my thing. My degree is in civil environmental engineering and specialize in water treatment, water and streams like the one behind us, including flood control. Maybe a little about the department. Yeah. So Public Utilities, we manage your drinking water system, the flood control system, and then also the street lights. And we're set up as a utility that's separate books from the general fund. So your water bill, your stormwater fee, and your street light fee goes straight to an account, and that just goes towards running the system and paying for infrastructure for you, our customers. We've got 50 employees. We're really proud of the people we have. They love the work they do. Mayor came out and did some job shadowing with them. Got a little wet and everything else. Changed some lights, I think. And
they are the unsung heroes of our city.
Yeah,
I mean, what they do is.
Can I tell them that you didn't wear a tie and a suit? You dressed. He was full on in.
I told the guys I haven't showered after working a long time, but I showered after that day.
Yeah. So that was good. So we do. That's what we do. Our staff. When you're home at night and it's the thunder's booming and the rain's coming down, they're out checking the inlets. They're making sure the creeks are not blockages and flooding, and and they respond to you when you have questions or concerns about flooding or the drinking water system. It's a 24/7 job for them. They work closely with police and fire in that regard. Let's see. Do you want me to run down some of the facts of the system, fun facts or anything like that?
Yeah, why don't you give us a couple, give us some fun facts for a Friday.
All right. Yeah, well, so I'm a water guy, so maybe it's going to sound geeky, but we've got 400 miles of water mains that are under sandy streets, and some of those are 80 years old, and they've been there for a long time, and sometimes we don't know when they're going to break, and they break under the roads. We end up having about 70, 80 breaks a year. That's a few a week.
Yeah, I think it's good to emphasize a lot of, some of them make the news. We kind of just assume there's, 3 or 4 big ones during the year, but Yeah, 70 or 80
Yeah,
is
you know, we've got customers out there that are calling, and
Right.
and our crews show up. They'll make those repairs. Those repairs, the little ones, can be just a few $1,000s. We had one under 90th South at the freeway. That was a big deal. It cost about $120,000 just to take care of the mess and stuff. And so the city also has a good fund for replacing that infrastructure. So we do it before they break, right? That's the goal.
That's definitely the
So
goal.
a couple little fun facts on that one. Streetlight program, our
Yeah.
LED,
Yeah.
you know, we've been funding that in about 20% of the city's lights.
Yeah.
So we got, I think, 8,700 lights. Around 1,700 of those are LED, the high efficiency lights.
And I did one conversion.
Yeah.
It took me about 40 minutes to get up there in the bucket and
That's
replace
pretty good.
that guy.
That's darn good.
So with 8,700 lights, they better get somebody else. Luckily we have somebody else changing them out. But
Yeah.
no, it is an impressive program, and it's a great step toward being more environmentally conscious.
It saves. It's just like when you replace your light bulb at home. Couple things. We get rebates from Rocky Mountain Power when we do our light change-out program.
Yeah.
They have, just like they have for your household, they have a program for cities. So for every dollar the city spends, we get about 30 cents back on that. So we've gotten grants, and then the power bill drops 60% just like at your house. So that's one of the things there, and greenhouse gas emissions,
Yeah.
all that sort of thing.
Right. Good.
The other fun fact we were talking about is the water department coordinates with Rocky Mountain Power on how to
Yeah.
save energy. So our mountains here, or most of our water comes from the mountains, and
Right.
other being fresh and clear and clean,
Right.
it's gravity. And so we've retooled our system to take more gravity flow water.
Yeah.
And as you saw in our budget, we were able to reduce our power bill by about $600,000.
That's huge.
I was doing some math, Mayor, and
Yeah.
that's close to 200 to 400 tons
Yeah.
of greenhouse gas emissions that we save a year,
That's
and good stuff.
Yeah, anything we can do to lessen that impact is huge. So,
Yeah.
tell us really quick. I was amazed when I went to one of our. Oh, sorry, I just hit my microphones. That was probably really loud on you. I was really amazed when I went to one of our pump houses.
Yeah.
Just how much water flows through the system. So, do you have a sense of?
Yeah.
I think I remember on our busiest day, like around July 24th or something.
Mm-hmm.
How much water do we, like in a visual context, how much water do we use as a city? Like I think someone told me, if you pictured like a football field,
Yeah,
and going up like 11 stories or 16 stories or something, we
it's a lot of
empty
water.
and fill that a few times a day or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
Sandy, we're close to 100,000 people, and that's a
Yeah.
lot of people. We all drink water every day and use
Yeah.
it. So we measured 1 million gallons a day, so that 1 million gallons to fill a Olympic swimming pool.
Yeah,
And we can approach 40, 50 million gallons in a day.
That's crazy.
I think we've been less than that because people have been conserving.
right.
But another example would be our water tanks. Like some folks may have seen our new one up at Flatiron
Yeah.
Park. Last tank that wasn't seismically upgraded. Now
Yeah,
we're all good for
Now
an
we're-
earthquake.
yeah.
We don't want an earthquake, but if it happened, we were good.
right.
That would drain like 10, 15 times a day if that was our only tank.
That's
So
crazy.
we use a lot of water. That brings up, we talked about conservation. We've been conserving water at a rate that we may not need to buy any more water if we keep on that path.
Yeah,
And
that's
we've been
great.
talking to, you've been talking to us about our conservation program,
Right.
and we're looking at how we can kind of take our conservation to the next level.
Yeah.
Our city parks department has a lot of cool projects.
Yeah.
I was just up on Wasatch.
Yeah.
They retrofitted
Yeah.
the park space there
They just
to
did the whole
to
park.
Zurich. So just like some of you might want to save water, save money, and do the green thing, our city parks are all on top of that. I know they keep a focus of keeping it green where you're going to play soccer.
Right,
But on the
it's great.
side-
Yeah, they're starting to implement that smart technology where it, the sprinkler system senses when it rains, and so it turns
Yeah.
off on its own. And anyway, it's pretty cool. Yeah, what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, great. Well, thanks, Tom, for a quick little overview of the department. How are we doing on live viewership, Cal?
You just have somebody that said, I'm a big fan of you.
Oh, they mean Tom, of course. Someone said they're a big fan of Tom Ward's. I am too. We appreciate all Tom does in his department. So, okay, well, why don't we just jump in? We got a couple questions throughout the week or overnight. Let's just go ahead and jump into those. If you're out there and watching and have a question, feel free to chime in. So Christine Tuckett maybe Walkie asked, why don't we move spring and fall pickup dates to later in spring and earlier in fall? Those of us living closer to 7th East get screwed. I'm not going to paraphrase. Spring pickup is early March and fall is November for us. Both dates are ridiculous. So Christine, it's a great question. To make a really long story short, we're actually looking at revamping the bulk waste pickup program quite a bit. The short answer to your question is Public Works has laid out this schedule to coincide htheefully with weather patterns. So they typically like to start more west earlier in the spring, when there's still snow. There's not as much down here, so they start here down by the freeway and then work their way east, and the program takes about 10 weeks to go from one end of the city to the other. So they start here around the beginning of March and then move through the city and wind up on the east bench by mid-May, and so that's designed to give the snow a chance to clear out. So they're not one year, I was just out with them yesterday on a job shadow doing bulk waste pickup, and we can talk separately about what a difficult job that is, but they were telling me one year they actually had their snow plows connected to the front of the dump trucks, and they would have to plow snow and fill them up with bulk waste at the same time. So, and then the reverse is true in the fall. Again, they start up east in early September to hopefully beat the snow and then move their way west and finish in November down here. So unfortunately, if you are in the middle there in 7th or 13th East, you kind of do get squeezed, and it is around those kind of awkward times every spring and fall. But the short answer is, like I said, we'll have some more information about this coming at the beginning of the year, but we're not doing away with the program, but we think we have some better ways to make it more efficient and work not only cheaper for the city, but better service for our residents. So,
Mayor, can I add one piece on that? Because one of the pieces of that, as the mayor mentioned, we're looking at retooling, but one element is the leaves that fall in the fall. This creek behind us, when it gets full of leaves, it ends up in the Jordan River, and actually the Jordan River, the state has put it under what they call a total maximum load for leaves and stuff like that, organic matter. So part of the program, I know that our residents love it, I love it, other than Sandy, but it also keeps our streams clean, and so timing it, as the mayor mentioned, as it moves east, they're trying to also catch the fall of the leaves and that sort of thing. Yeah. So we actually get credit with the state for the program. Yeah. So there is a strategy to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I do get the frustration, and there's a lot of frustration with it in terms of cleanup after and just all kinds of things. So and safety of the program. There's also some stormwater concerns about the stuff that's going into those drains, and so we'll have more information to come around the beginning of the year. But thanks for your question, and in the meantime, hopefully you can just be patient with us as we do our best to still provide that service, but do it in a way that makes sense for all these reasons we just talked about. Can I say that so I'm Public Utilities, and I don't want Mike Labach and Public Works we work closely with the other departments, but that's a separate department, but we work really closely together.
Yeah, I mean, it is a program that's administered primarily by Public Works, but we definitely get the frustration, so we'll continue to work through it.
Okay.
So Eric Miller asked, we fixed the drainage system on the north end of Raintree 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Since then, my house has been flooded 2 or 3 times along with neighbors. As for my neighbor, his city water main has broken 3 times and is flooding his house an additional 3 more times during the cold and frigid months. What can we do to correct this problem? So Eric, again, it's a great question. We are aware, that obviously the city has been engineered over the last 100 years, so we are aware that there are some design flaws around the city. We actively work to try to correct those, whether it's streets or storm water, whatever it may be. But if you are aware of consistent flooding in areas and we haven't been out to address it, I know Tom's group does a great job of proactively identifying where the flooding issues are. But if you feel like we're missing one or we need to follow up, please reach out directly. So probably the best way is just to email me. It's just mayor@sandy.utah.gov, and we'll post that in the comments. But I don't know if there's anything you want to add specific on.
So I saw this last night, and like the mayor said, we certainly let us know. We'll have our storm drainage crew come out and look at your problem. If they've been out before, we're revisiting things. Some storm events come, and it's Mother
all
Nature.
Of a sudden realize, sometimes we we didn't know we had a
Yeah.
problem, and then we find out after.
Yeah. Sometimes it's on the property owner's side, but our staff are happy to help with that. I know if I'm remembering right, Rain Tree has what we call a down-sloping driveway. So the city streets are designed to keep the 25-year flood in the streets.
Right.
But when it gets bigger, it's going to go up to the curb and maybe a little bit on the property.
Yeah.
We had that one storm in August where it was like a 30, 40-year event.
Yeah.
It got higher than the street, which is more than the design of that.
Right.
And so it's going to flow out.
Right.
And so folks with one of the things that you've asked us to do is look into the downsloping driveways, have a campaign to help people know that there's an issue to be on top of. Obviously, if you've flooded already, you know about that.
Yeah.
Call us, let us help figure out the best way within the public right-of-way, how to help you.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's solutions we can work on the private side of that, either projects you can do, and so case-by-case basis, let us help.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And Tom's department's seen it all, so even if it's just them giving you some kind of individual tips on what would maybe help
We've
flooding
got some
at your
great
property.
people.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so just reach out individually, Eric, or your neighbors. We're happy to help anybody. So let's pause for just a second. Any live action? Okay. All right, then we just have one more. It's from Alan, maybe Nauman, who said, supporting 100% renewable energy through Rocky Mountain Power by way of House Bill 411. So I actually had a chance to speak at a climate change town hall last night here in Sandy. We had about 150 people come. It was a great discussion. It was myself, Mayor Peterson, Mayor Silvestrini from Mill Creek and Cottonwood Heights, respectively, and then a few professors, one from the U and one from BYU, climate change scientists. So anyway, we talked about House Bill 411. Essentially, if you're not familiar with this is state legislation that is asking all of the cities that contract with Rocky Mountain Power to pass a resolution to opt into their green energy program, conservation program. So this would, if we pass the resolution, all of our customers, Rocky Mountain Power's customers here in Sandy, would be opted in. And then there should be, hopefully, the idea is that there's cost savings involved in that over the long term by saving energy. So that's the short answer. If you want to hear more about House Bill 411, our city council is actually taking it up. The state statute that was passed required that the cities take a vote on the resolution by December 31st of this year. So our council had a presentation on it a few months ago, and now they're taking it up again to vote on that resolution. That'll be Tuesday. So if you have particular leanings or want to learn more or just want to express your opinion, please come down Tuesday to our city council meeting here at City Hall. So that's probably all I wanted to say about 411 for now. It's pretty detailed, and I don't want to we don't want to get too technical, but the council will be voting on it. So okay, anything else? Okay, anything else you want to add, Tom?
On the water conservation.
Oh, let's talk about Dry Creek real quick while we're here.
The project. So, as the mayor mentioned, this project behind us, we just finished it this last year. This was a partnership. The city asked the county to partner, and they gave us a couple $100,000 for the project. It's flood control. So we have we're on the Dry Creek, connected to Dimple Dell. So if you go east of us, past State Street, it connects to Dimple Dell and goes all the way up to Bell Canyon. And so that gets a lot of water in the spring. It was pretty full. And so the flood control part of that, we had the county participating. We got a $20,000 grant from DEQ for the demonstration. So the plants you see behind the mayor and I, the grass is actually a low water use grass. The plants are more of a xeric low water use native plants that you'd plant kind of on the near a stream and that sort of thing. And we're going to be putting in signage on what people can do for themselves. The project's going to continue to the east. Mayor, you know this. Up towards State Street, and so we've got working with the county, about another $1 million in big projects there, and continue this. Make it not just utilitarian, solve flooding, but make it a great place to bike or walk.
And it's gorgeous, and eventually we'll have quite a few more office buildings down here, and people working nearby. So it'll be a great place to come out and have lunch.
And I guess you can't maybe see it on Facebook, but there's a trail that goes here past us, past REI, and you can continue down to the Jordan River. There's a couple breaks in it, but eventually we want to get into Bell Canyon or Dimple Dell.
Yeah, and we want to connect it through.
Yeah.
So that's the longer term plan.
Good stuff in Sandy.
Yeah, well, great. Well, it's beautiful, and thank you guys. Can't thank you enough for all of your hard work in our Public Utilities Department. So we will. There's not any live questions. Okay, you were a calm audience today. So as always, Tom and I both just thank you for the pleasure of serving. If there's anything we can do to make your lives easier as residents, we want to know and want to do it. So please feel free to reach out, and we'll be in touch next month.
Here, can I do a plug?
Yes, Tom's going to do a quick plug.
I mentioned how Parks is doing conservation.
Yes.
Some people may not know, but you can sign up, go to our website, and we have the Utah Water Savers.
Yes.
So our staff, this wasn't available to Sandy about a year ago, and there's a program funded by the state for the rebates on toilets and the rebates on the smart controllers.
That's true.
And so if you go to our the city's webpage, go to Public Utilities main one, and it'll link you to Utah Water Savers.
Yeah.
So that's available now. And then the other part we're going to work on for next year is where we can get people coming. There's a part they call Local Scapes.
Yeah.
And Sandy's, it just started, and we're trying to figure out how we can participate with that. And that would be coming out and making consultations at your house, in your yard. How can you save? Right now we have just a couple people that will work on it. You can call our department. But next year you'll have the online Local Scapes register and that sort of stuff.
That's awesome. And that reminds me too, I don't think we call the program Aquahawk anymore, but
Water Watch, Aquahawk.
Water Watch.
You know,
but another plug, I think a lot of our residents are using it, but we could still have more opt into it. But Water Watch is it's our
smart meters.
Smart program, to monitor your water usage. It's a great feature. You can set alerts if there's a certain amount of money you want to spend, or you can earmark how much water you want to use. It also alert you if you're away, if
there's a break or
if
something
there's a
in your
break
house
or something, you'll know about it. So anyway, it's a great feature to take advantage of. So
thank you.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.